Hey everybody, today on Hopped Up Beer Review, we're going to be trying Lucky Scar's Hazy IPA from Currahee Brewing Company out of Franklin, North Carolina. Currahee! Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we're drinking and reviewing. We are back to do that once again. I've got Jay, I've got Andy in the attic. I am Ben. What are we drinking today?
Lucky Scars. It's a hazy IPA. New brewery alert, huh?
Is that like a flashing thing we have on the screen here? Brewery alert. Sirens.
Going off.
We'll have to talk to post-production about that.
Don't want that in
there. Right.
Did you get you a hair there, Andy?
There's a hair on my beer.
Yeah, I don't really have that problem.
Is that real human hair, that wig, or is it like...
It wasn't my hair.
Yeah.
It was a feline.
Is that real cat hair?
The realist.
Who grabbed this one while we wait for Andy?
Andy.
Was me.
Okay. Nice.
Came from Hop City.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Currahee. It's as easy as Currahee. Lucky Scars Hazy IPA. 6.5% ABV. This is the second volume in the Lucky Scars series. So they make other types of IPAs in it. Uses Zaka hops, Euconaut hops, Mandarina Bavaria hops, Citra hops, and Simcoe hops. Lots of hops. I believe that is 1, 2, 3, 5 hops. They say it has a taste of juicy tropical fruit. Currahee Brewing Company, Franklin, North Carolina, but they also have locations in Alpharetta, Georgia, and I think that says Glayton, Georgia. Never heard of that town. It is a microbrewery founded in 2016. The name Currahee is Cherokee. It's a Cherokee word meaning stand alone. And it is also the name of a mountain in Georgia, Currahee Mountain. And it is they named the brewery in honor of the Cherokee in Western North Carolina and for the military. And Ben, I am just going to let you take it from here because I know once you found out the name Currahee Brewing, you've been waiting for this.
Of course I have. It's Band of Brothers, everybody's favorite show in miniseries on HBO, which incidentally, Andy, you still have not watched. I mean, you watched 20 minutes of it.
Oh, you said watch first 10 minutes, and that's all you'll need to know about Currahee. I watched 20 minutes, and I really don't feel like I have to finish it out. I mean, I'm just like,
Jay, do we keep doing the show with Andy at this point?
I know what happened. It's World War II. I know what happened. It's like watching Titanic. I know what happens,
So I would say, yes, watch the first episode of Band of Brothers. If you've not, don't be like Andy. Actually watch the thing. The rest of the episodes are fantastic. It tells the story of the 101st Airborne, Easy Company, and their battle from their boot camp to all the way to after the war's end. So it was a great series. Debuted back actually September 2001. It was right around September 11th that it actually debuted. And incidentally, I think they put the series on pause. But a great show, great story based on the book by Stephen Ambrose. So it's a great book if you have not read that as well.
So, thank you. Is the official, I was going to go and finish off the rest because I wanted you to get it out of your system. Although I'm sure there's going to be more trickling out as we go along.
We got more.
The official motto of the 506th Infantry Regiment, which was originally designated as the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment during World War II, a unit of the 101st Airborne Division. This regiment was the very first in warfare for parachute infantry. They were in the Battle of the Bulge, Operation Overlord in D-Day, and Operation Market Garden. I wrote a little note. It's been, week or two since you told me to look it all up, and I was like, 2 weeks maybe. Yeah. I made a little note to open your app, your phone, but now I can't. I mean, it was late at night, and I was like, I can't remember why I made a note to open it up. Because I've read everything from their website and all. Clayton, Georgia, not Gallatin, Georgia.
I was thinking that's who was Clayton, but I was like, because I've heard of Clayton.
Yeah, but the Currahee Mountain, where their boot camp was, is in Stevens County, Georgia. So Gallatin, silly me.
It was 3 miles up, 3 miles down the mountain.
The mountain, yeah. So, I don't know why I said to open it up. It's near Toccoa, Northeast Georgia, Toccoa. So, it's pretty much all I got. Band of Brothers,
So for those of you out there that watch this show, or person out there that watches this show that doesn't know Andy very well, Andy will refuse to watch simply because we tell him to watch.
It's just I got other things to do
that we're dealing with.
I got other things.
It's all out of spite. It has nothing to do. He doesn't have anything else to do. He just won't watch it because we tell him it's good. And if we didn't have this lame beer show, he probably wouldn't drink half the beer that we tell him to drink.
Well, I wouldn't because I couldn't get it. I mean, I would eventually get to Band of Brothers one day. I mean, what is it? Just 10 episodes?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
All right,
Same with the Pacific.
Maybe I'll watch it in pieces here and there. How about that? Maybe.
I mean, I've probably seen the series. I think Jay's probably in the same boat. I've seen the series at least 7 or 8 times all the way through. And probably more bits and pieces here or there of the other episodes. It's just such a great series.
I've not discussed it with my mother, but my wife was telling me, she's like, yeah, your mom watches that like once every fall she start watching it again. So for every year since it's been out,
it was so good. Yeah.
So 20 years.
The only one out there.
23 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's watched it over 20 times.
And actually, about 2 or 3 years ago, I know we're here to do a beer show, but this is a topic that at least Jay and I care about. That there was a podcast out that HBO did put out, and they went and talked to the actors that played some of these roles, and a lot of them got to meet some of the guys that were actually in Easy Company that are depicted in the show, and they were just sharing some of the stories about how they would get together with them, or how they would call them before a scene to see what would how they would actually react, or how they would have reacted back then. So it's really interesting too. If you've seen the show, I would encourage you to go check that out on. I'm sure I listened to it on Spotify. I'm sure it's on just about anywhere. But that's also another cool cool thing. I'll see if I can find it. Put the link down below.
Yeah, unfortunately, they followed it up with the Pacific, which it followed the Pacific venue battles over there, and like I said, unfortunately, some of those veterans had already aged out. They weren't as able to get the live interviews and a lot of the feedback from the veterans for that. So,
well, I was glad to see that Ron Livingston was in it. From Office Space. He's
great.
It's one of the best shows ever, best movies ever. And so I was like, okay, he's got some cred. I mean, it does have a new kid on the block. I mean, come on,
Yeah, that's right. And it's funny you mentioned that. A coworker of mine has seen our show, and the first thing he said was that you look like Ron Livingston. So he actually told me that out of the blue.
Was it Lumberg? You work with Lumberg?
Maybe.
Hello, Peter. What's happening? I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. So if you could be here around 9, that would be great. Okay?
What's happening? Let's do our best.
I'm guessing nobody's had this one.
nope.
Yeah.
All right. Jay, you've been the quietest here. Why don't you go first?
Yeah, I'll be happy to. The first sip or two of this was, it reminds me of some of those IPAs that they're really heavy. And I was trying to discern, as Andy described it, it says it's completely tropical. To me, I wouldn't necessarily say it's completely tropical. It's more of that hazy IPA, but it's not East Coast, it's not West Coast, it's kind of one of the heavy ones to me. I don't know how else to describe them. It's a good drinking beer. I'm going to give it a 7.
All right. Ron Livingston, what do you say?
Yeah. I see what you were talking about, Jay, and it kind of clicks with me. The first, once it hits your mouth, it feels heavy, and it finishes like juicy. You get that tropical. So the back end is lighter than the front end of it, and you get a little bit of like a citrus peel bitterness, just a mild at the end. I was hoping for more tropical. It's just not bursting with enough flavor. It seems like a lack of flavor. So it isn't getting that great. Yeah, it's in between the coast somewhere. Maybe just a little east of the Mississippi to get that juicy sound. Yeah, maybe if I had watched the whole series and really gotten into it like you've been, I would give it a better score, but I'm just going to give it a 6.5. I want more flavor out of it. It's just not delivering on the flavor. I got another 3. I'm going to drink them all again, So
it just leaves something to be desired.
Yeah.
So.
I really think this beer would probably go great with the series. So, I think that's your opportunity to explore.
One evening I will watch it with a Currahee. I'll finish the first episode because I've only gone 20 minutes out of the 60. I'll have a Currahee when I finish it probably next year. And so then the beer will taste even worse. And I'll just I can't watch this show anymore. Oh. So.
Not surprising. I'm going to start telling you shows not to watch. And that way that'll be what you pick out.
This one, the Hopped Up Beer Review. Don't watch this.
Yeah.
It's crap.
I can definitely see what you guys are saying. I think that it is a bit muted. The flavor is it's not watered down. It's not flat, but it holds a little bit back from what you expect from a tropical. And it definitely get a little bit of that peel on the back end. I don't mind it so much though, as far as an IPA goes. I actually would drink this one, and I think, as we have said in the past, there's a lot of reasons why I like IPAs and you guys don't. Like it flips sometimes, and I think this is one I wouldn't mind drinking that often. I don't have to have the haziest of IPAs to enjoy it, so I actually like this one probably a little more than you guys do. I'm going to go with 7.5. I mean, I'm struggling not to drink it all here at this point, so I actually like it. Incidentally, a little other piece of history here with Easy Company. The last survivor of Easy Company was from Mississippi, so I forget how old he was, but he died, obviously a little while back. But he was from Mississippi, so. 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. That will be a 7 for the Lucky Scars Hazy IPA from Currahee Brewing Company out of Franklin, North Carolina. 3 miles up, 3 miles down. Definitely appreciate you guys checking this video. If you've watched Band of Brothers, go back and watch it again. Let us know what you think about it down in the comments. If you had this beer, also do the same thing. We've got a bunch of links down below. I'll try to find that podcast and put it down there if you're interested in that. But we've got links for merch. We've got links for beer glassware that we have purchased at outside vendors. We've got links for our Hop It Beer Review Discord server, which is a chat room where we talk about Band of Brothers. I think we may need to make a Band of Brothers channel on that in that chat room. So we may have to look at that. And we've got links to our social media down below. Lastly, we have links for the equipment that we use to produce this show. So go look at all that great information down there if you haven't checked that out before. For Andy in the Attic and Jay, I'm Ben. Currahee.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Change into your PT gear. We're running Currahee.
Second platoon, fall out. We have 2 minutes.
How far down? 3 miles up, 3 miles down. Now what company is this? Easy Company.